Well, Matt Walsh is a columnist and he hosts a popular talk show at the Daily Wire. He previously merely identified as a best-selling children's book author, but he has now made the transition official this week because he's got a brand new book. It's called Johnny the Walrus. It sold out on Amazon in a few hours, in one day. Would you welcome to the show, Matt Walsh? Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, every author I know would love to have a book sell out in 6 months. You're sold out in less than 6 hours. There was obviously an appetite for what you were saying, but man, you've been in some trouble lately on Twitter. What's going on?
It's every day. It's always something. You know what I mean? But it's depressing in a certain way because I wrote 2 real books before this one and nobody read them, and then I write a board book on cardboard for preschoolers. And,
well, it's great though. I mean, Keith could read this and it would only take him a couple of days. He could get through the whole thing.
It took me many, many hours to write that. You know.
But seriously, the book is a parody, and you said something on Twitter that got you in a lot of trouble. You said that there are 2 genders, male and female.
That's true. That's true. I have the audacity, I know, it's very offensive. I have the audacity to think the same thing about biological sex that every single person on Earth throughout the entire history of human civilization believed up until 12 seconds ago. So the only difference is I don't think we discovered anything in the last 12 seconds that changes biological reality. So I'm gonna stick with that. And that's really what the book is about. I mean, the book is about a little boy who's very imaginative and playful, and like I have 4 kids, and they all have an imagination.
Yeah.
And he likes to pretend to be different things. And one day he pretends to be a walrus. Why a walrus? Just because it's the funniest animal for this story. And his mother is woke and everything, and she's kind of confused and progressive, and she learns from society that whatever your child identifies as, that's what he is. You have to take his self-identity seriously. So she endeavors through most of the novel, which I do call it a novel now. Just go with it. She endeavors to raise her child as a walrus, and at one point she brings him to the doctor, and they recommend him going through a medical transition to become a walrus, which is a very brutal procedure. I don't want to spoil the ending, but by the end, she thinks she needs to take him to go live at a zoo, and she meets a zookeeper who looks suspiciously like the author, and the zookeeper explains to her that, you know, that's just a boy with an imagination. He's just playing pretend. So she learns, and it's a great lesson at the end.
You know, we're laughing our heads off here in the theater because it sounds so ridiculous. But, Matt, that is exactly what's going on out in our culture today, where people are saying that some 6-year-old kid who has an imagination and says, I want to be a soldier, that suddenly we've got to go get him an M16.
Exactly.
So he can be one.
Exactly. Of course, the left's very upset about this book. I can't imagine why. And one thing they've accused me of, they said, well, you're just making a mockery of gender ideology. You're making a mockery of it. And I said, yeah, guilty as charged. It's exactly what I'm doing. Because, yeah, I actually think that that's the appropriate response. Of course, I'm a Christian, as we all are, but the appropriate response to toxic, harmful nonsense that damages kids is mockery, for one, but also to aggressively meet it head on and expose it for what it is. And it is, you know, to say that a little boy, a 5-year-old boy who says I'm a girl actually is a girl, that is just as absurd as saying he's a walrus. I believe that. That's why I wrote the book.
I think you're 100% accurate about that. And I'm thrilled that you have the guts to go out there and say it, because a lot of conservatives, they're just pulling back. They just don't want to take the heat. Matt, do you see people kind of waking up to what's going on and starting to say, I'm not going to buy into this. I'm not going to let my child go to a school where everybody has to be told what their pronouns are going to be, and boys are going into girls' restrooms and after gym class going to the shower with them. People getting fed up yet?
I think so. I've gone around. I've been to some of these school board meetings, spoken at some of them, and I've talked to a lot of parents there that are tired of it. And I'll tell you one thing, is that they're not all, there's plenty of conservatives, self-identified conservatives, but they're not all. I've talked to a lot of people who say, I've voted Democrat my entire life up until now, but I just don't want these people telling me what my child should believe, because that's what they're doing in schools. They're not just teaching kids A, B, C's, and 1, 2, 3s. They're saying, we're going to fundamentally shape your child's value system. We're going to decide what sort of person your child's going to be. And I think there are a lot of parents who are tired of that. It doesn't matter if you're left or right. You're just tired of it.
I'm trusting that the book, I know it's sold out real quickly, but more are being printed and they're back on the market.
You can, it is sold out on Amazon right now, but you can go to johnnythewalrus.com and buy one and then buy 10 more for all of your liberal friends and family members.
I think, I love that because nothing messes them up quite like having the truth hit them in the face. I think it's great. #1 best-selling children's author, Matt Walsh. His book available right now wherever. It hasn't been canceled yet, so hurry and get it before it gets canceled. And for more details about Matt or his Daily Wire show, go to Huckabee.tv. There are connections to all things Matt Walsh.